Hello there, this is the World News at 12 on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Choma Innocent, and here are the top stars. Defend yourselves, Governor Mutfwang tells Plateau communities after fresh attacks. Wike insists Fubara must seek forgiveness before peace talks. Jonathan denies supporting Tinubu for 2027 elections, and Biden attacks Trump in first speech since leaving White House. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The world news at 12 begins on the foreign scene, where Joe Biden has criticized the Trump administration's welfare policies in his first speech since leaving office. The former U.S. president told the conference in Chicago that the government had taken a hatchet to the social security system, which Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who is leading the White House's cost-cutting efforts, claim is beset by fraud. The administration wants to cut staff at the agency responsible for spending $1.6 trillion in benefits a year. Biden, who was speaking at a disability rights event, did not address his departure from the White House or the 2024 presidential election. During his remarks, Democratic politicians have repeatedly accused the administration of planning sweeping social security cuts. Back home in Nigeria, the Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has stated that every community must defend itself in response to the growing wave of attacks and mass killings in the state attributed to suspected armed headers. VOP News gathered that over 100 people have been killed in a series of attacks in Basa local government area of Plateau in the past 2 weeks. The latest attack took place early Monday morning when gunmen raided the Zike and Kimakma communities in the Kwale district of the Iregwe chiefdom. More than 50 people were killed and several houses and properties were destroyed. Governor Mutfwang, who visited the affected communities on Tuesday, expressed his concern over the security challenges which he said have hindered the state's growth and development. He revealed that the state government had made significant investment in technology to address these security issues. He further explained that the security issues, including insurgency and terrorism, have deprived the state of its natural resources and slowed its development. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Nyesom Wike, has responded to a call by former Niger Delta militant leader, High Chief Government Ekpemukpolo, popularly known as Tompolo, urging him to forgive the embattled and suspended governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara. Wike, speaking through his media aide, Larry Olayinka, said forgiveness could only be considered if the person in question acknowledges wrongdoing and seeks reconciliation, something he claims Fubara is yet to do. In a recent statement on the ongoing political turmoil in Rivers State, Tompolo called for unity and restraint, urging Wike to temper his anger and work towards peace. Reacting, Olayinka questioned the premise of the appeal. He further claimed that Wike has not accused Governor Fubara of any personal offense, but rather of political betrayal and deviation from governance principles. Olayinka also questioned Fubara's change in attitude towards Wike, pointing out that the governor once worked closely and loyally with him. Now, despite clear disapproval from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Governors Forum, former Vice President and the party's 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has reaffirmed his commitment to forming a broad-based political coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. Atiku, who recently hosted delegations from 2 political groups, declared that the movement to build a pan-Nigerian alliance is well underway and gaining momentum. Atiku noted that his meetings were with a delegation from the PDP in Nasarawa State, led by Alhaji Jibrin Sabo Kiana, and a group of national opinion leaders led by Honorable Yusuf Sheriff Banki. The move comes amid resistance from PDP governors who have publicly distanced themselves from the coalition efforts involving Atiku, former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. In a recent appearance on television, Now, Seyi Makinde, Oyo State Governor, speaking on behalf of the PDP Governors Forum, criticized the initiative, saying it lacked the party's approval. He emphasized that the PDP governors would not support any measure or alliance that bypasses the party's formal structures, highlighting that such efforts risk undermining internal cohesion. Meanwhile, former President Goodluck Jonathan has firmly denied the claims made by an online report stating that he's tipped President Bola Tinubu for victory in the 2027 presidential election. In a statement issued by his media office, Jonathan dissociated himself from the report, which circulated on social media platforms. A controversial report alleged that Jonathan had stated that no coalition formed to challenge Tinubu's re-election would succeed. According to the report, the ex-president made these comments during his visit to Seoul, South Korea, where he was honored with the 2025 Sunhak Peace Prize. However, the special advisor to Jonathan, Ikechukwu Eze, quickly debunked the claims, emphasizing that the former president did not make any such statements about the 2027 elections. In a message posted on Facebook today, the media office of Jonathan clarified that the report was completely false. The statement described the report as fake news fabricated by agents of disinformation. The former president's office emphasized that Jonathan did not discuss the forthcoming 2027 elections with any journalists and reaffirmed his commitment to factual communication. In a recent development, the Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno has come under criticism following his public endorsement of President Bola Tinubu for his second term in office. The governor, a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), had on Tuesday expressed support for Tinubu's re-election bid during the flag-off ceremony of the Akwa Ibom segment of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. Let's take a listen to him actually saying this during the event.
Ensuring our president, our people-loving president, who will complete 8 years, because we are going to stand by him. And this is the truth. He cannot start this work and abandon it. Somebody else may not finish it. Let the hand, Bible says, who is this mountain that is standing before Zerubbabel? The hand that has started this work, that hand shall do what? Shall complete it. Our prayer is to pray for Mr. President for good health, to finish the work that he has started and commission this work so that this work will not be abandoned. It will not be like the East-West Road, like we have stayed there forever. This one will be finished, and the hand that has started it will finish it in Jesus' name.
Now, the endorsement has sparked outrage and recently from human rights lawyer and political activist Inibehe Effiong in a strongly worded press release titled Governor Umo Eno and his irresponsible and witchcraft endorsement of President Tinubu for re-election. Effiong described the endorsement as shameful and hypocritical. He accused Governor Eno of abandoning the role of an opposition governor and aligning himself with what he called the most terrible, incompetent and dangerous regime in Nigeria's modern history. Effiong further argued that the endorsement came at a time when Nigerians are grappling with the economic hardship and alleged nepotism under Tinubu's administration. He also criticized the perceived alliance between Governor Eno and Senate President Godswill Akpabio, saying both PDP and APC in Akwa Ibom have formed an unholy marriage driven by a hunger for power and control and not service to the people. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a short break and head into the news analysis segment where I'll be speaking with the political, social, national affairs analyst and also veteran journalist, Mr. Awa Omiko. Do stay tuned. All right. Thank you for joining me on the World News at 12 today. Mr. Awa, how you doing? Good afternoon.
I'm fine. Are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. So, we have a lot of issues to actually discuss this afternoon, but I want to begin with the Plateau State governor telling the communities to defend themselves. He's saying to the people in these places, I'm trying my best to protect you as your governor, but you also have to defend yourself. This also reminds us of the DSS Director General, who recently said, we have mechanisms in place for you to defend yourself. So, communities affected by insecurity should please come to us and we will help them to defend themselves. How exactly can people defend themselves against insecurity? The question I've been asking since Monday is, what are the weapons that these people could get that would be more sophisticated than those wielded by the assailants?
Well, that's good. That is a very valid question. The issue is that there's no weapon as strong as that instrument and surveillance and intelligence gathering. That's one. And secondly, it still won't happen as a state in on those states also, where the people resorted to using local means for fulfilling themselves. Maybe they went to do, although I don't really think that to be too good, because it may have its own adverse effect. By putting this pesticide on their crops, so that those cows will eat it and die. But anyway, I don't see that as being too excellent. But when the people, if we go back to our community security gathering, our community security gathering in those days, you will see that each group were involved, and everybody knows each other. It was one know your one, no one. When they begin to gather this, when you see a stranger in the community, you'll be able to challenge him or her. Who are you and why are you there? And when they begin to talk in terms of sophistication, no matter the level, if you begin to point out and say this is what these people are doing, with that surveillance, people will be able to equip themselves to even attack. Even if you do mass attack, it's enough to check them. I seriously support the governor and the former SSL officer that retired that says we should all keep ourselves. And that is what has been happening on. By the time they do this, if you check the marauders, people coming in to say, no, these people know what they're doing, that their intelligence is high, and they know how to attack them. You may not necessarily need to have that type of AK-47 to gather surveillance or to check the people. Once you see them, because they can never come in mass. They come in 2, 5, 10, 15, 20. And they attack a community of close to 500. 500 individuals. By the time the surveillance is high, you'll be able to check them even before. And when you give them mass attack, their weapon cannot be stronger to destroy everybody. Disarm them. And because they're entering your community, and they're entering your community, you, the indigenous of that community, the owner of the community, use the nook and cranny to escape and to get them and to get hold of them. So it is one of the ways. Equipping yourself, it is one of the ways to get this attack. And by the time you know that the people are equipped, you see them going back. Nobody has nonsense.
But the people are equipped with what? Where can they get the weapons that would actually be a grade or two above that the assailants are coming with? That's where we're actually going. It's not just enough to tell the people to defend themselves.
Let me tell you, Chairman. There are 1 million and one weapon. There are 1 million and one weapon. Let me tell you. One, about the local knife. We don't stop calling for this. You know, it calls for weapons. You have to look at warfare was fought and won. So they say that you won't have to leave Asaba and how to leave the mid-western states and run away from Asaba to other parts. Let the people report that such demonstration and such power. And you see those foreigners, those security.
Mr. Amiko, we cannot be relying on juju in the 21st century.
Choma, you may call it to the Chinese actually do that. It's half. We don't call it juju. When you look at juju, you are demeaning the African system. I have given you orders and said we can import weapons. You can resort to using them guns. you can use your bows and arrows, you can use your shotguns, you can use your club, you can use your knife, you can equally resort to using juju. And I saw that word juju is out of it.
You said African magic.
No, I don't use the word African magic. That would be a demeaning. Invoke the African spirit, the gods and goddesses of the land, and see them fighting.
The people these assailants, right? There's been arguments that they are not exactly Nigerians, right? So if you say they should invoke the African ancestors, these people also have their own African ancestors. Would it now be a battle of whose ancestors is stronger?
Look, let me tell you, foreign ancestors cannot defeat your own. Those soldiers that fought during the Civil War and other wars. Don't you think they were empty-handed? Yes, the local gods were able to defeat them. Let me tell you, not that I'm encouraging you, but if that is the last resort, let them use it. Let them use it to make sure they survive. Besides, the government said defend yourself. When the government comes out to say defend yourself, what do you think is implied indirectly? Carry your weapon, carry your gun. What is wrong in you going? You put the knife, you put machete, you let them be handy. When they are handy, and when people see you that you're armed, that's the way to do it.
We might as well legalize guns and other weapons for all Nigerians.
Choma, let me tell you. One thing is that we always see so many things to be impossible. Now, they come with AK-47, or they come with automatic rifles. And now, these people are foreigners, mercenaries from other countries. And they invade Lagos for this time. They can, no matter their number, they can never be up to 500. And if they are not up to 500, and we in Lagos are more than 2 million, if this 2 million goes the way, we can disarm these 500 mercenaries, even with their sophisticated weapons. Because we have the surveillance, we know the nooks and crannies of our land, and we know what to do and the shortest way to get them, and we know how to get them, and we can identify them.
Okay.
For not winning the battle. It is when every community is able to check its own boundary and be able to fortify it, there will be no place for them to hide. And those of us living in the borderland should equally do the same, so that they will not have an income into our community.
All right.
Until we begin to carry this arm, these people will not stop at insulting us and raping us.
All right, then. I want to quickly go to Rivers State, where High Chief Government Ekpemukpolo, who is a former Niger Delta militant leader, actually called on Wike, telling him to forgive Fubara, whatever, and to quash whatever beef, whatever problems, whatever issues they have between them. Now, in response, Wike's media office has actually come out to say that he cannot forgive someone who has not asked for forgiveness. He's saying before he will forgive Governor Fubara has to come out and publicly ask him for forgiveness. But here is the question, right? The people of Rivers State are suffering due to this quarrel between Wike and Fubara, these two political heavyweights. Can either Wike or Fubara come out to tell Nigerians in plain terms exactly what the agreement between them is that has been breached, right? That has led to such spiraling of events in less than 2 years of Governor Fubara's administration. What is that sin so great that Fubara committed against Wike that the people of Rivers State have to suffer for it?
If you had listened to what Amechi said this morning.
Yes, he did say so.
Yes, so what else do you think? Equality sharing formula. One wants to claim the son, the other one say one wants to claim the father, the other one say you can't claim me as son. What is it? And you see, the last time I was analyzing the situation, I said it is when two elephants suffer. It is not only the trees and the grasses that will suffer. Even the earth in which they stand will suffer. And that it has started coming to fall. Now, the thing has shifted. The thing has shifted outside money to power and ego and superiority and inferiority complex. It has not beginning to have diverse branches. But the issue remains that, as I pointed out earlier on, only these two men and stakeholders and the leeches surrounding them and the vampires surrounding them and those making from this crisis that can say let us sit down and shed our market. You see, and to God be the glory that the with this apology you won't apologize to the other and this and that. The matter is gradually coming to an end.
Would you actually advise Governor Fubara to apologize to Wike?
What is wrong in that? Is Wike, Fubara is a
Would an apology return him as governor before the end of the 6 months where the state of emergency has been declared to last for?
The issue is no longer now. The issue is 2027. The issue is now. You can say, okay, we have done that. Okay, you go back as governor. Then how about after these 4 years? What happens is it should be the issue. There's nothing wrong. You can't fight a man that has nothing to lose. The likes of Wike have made themselves a monster, a high-strung monster, that anywhere you push them to, they want to make themselves relevant. That was why I described and said Fubara is nothing but a political feather. He can, if he wants to make himself relevant, he should by now begin to read books like Animal Farm, You Stoop to Conquer, and the rest. Begin to read books about leadership. You'll see that leadership is not taking the state and pocketing it in your pocket and running it like an extension of your kitchen. You need to stoop to conquer. You should remember what happened to Tinubu and the Baton Strongman. You should know. There are some people, they are not ready to be there as governor, and they can never even be there as governor. But they can destroy your destiny. They can destroy you from becoming a governor. And yet, they will still be relevant at the political field. So what Fubara needs to do, okay, I'm sorry, come, let us share, let us come back.
But what exactly will Fubara be apologizing for? Because Wike's media office is saying, at what point did Wike become the enemy? He says, when Wike was taking bullets for Fubara, he wasn't a bad person. So what changed, right? If we don't know the agreement between them, what exactly should Governor Fubara be apologizing for? Because Wike has said he's not governing in line with the rule of law.
There's nothing wrong in saying, Uncle Wike, please forgive me for all my past mistakes. Please, all my past mistakes. Come, let us reconstruct Rivers State. For the nitty-gritty of the apology, you just forget it. What Wike is interested in is that word S-O-R-R-Y. Sorry. I'm sorry. And you now begin to see that. Let him just do that. If that is what that will make peace to return to the state. And if he's privileged, or if he tells his Edwards, okay, let me go and do that so that peace will return. It will make him greater than what he had ever thought of becoming.
He might look weak in the eyes of some.
A man looks weak in the eyes of some. Have you not read the book, You Stoop to Conquer? What is that stuff? Politics. The sum of politics goes up and down. It's like a crescent. It will take people to the 5-story building, and the next level, it will bring you to an abbey. So if you don't want to go to that abbey, you better know how to flow in that stuff. And that is one thing Fubara should learn, that the storm is not stable. It is not stable. And in Wike, can decide by tomorrow to say, I don't even want to be a commissioner. You look at what he said. He said, sorry, I don't want to be a minister. You look at what he said. He said, anyone that mingles into the River State affairs.
Any governor, that he will put fire in their states.
Any governor, yes. For a minister to come out to say that, you know what I mean? I think it's the way. Even those that protect their state dry. Once you cross over, your sins will be forgiven. So that, but look, we don't have politicians in Nigeria. What we have are jobbers. No, none of them have political ideology. The only factor they do, they just have it as in their brain and not pragmatic about it. You see, I wouldn't say Jonathan has fully crossed over, but I'm not telling you there's no smoke, there's no smoke without fire. These people may say that here is smoke without fire, but there's no smoke without heat. That's one thing. It's as if the fertilization has begun undercover. through the shadow, through the cover of darkness. That you can't rule that out. And it may be that Jonathan is beginning to turn towards this issue. We can't still rule that out. The issue remains that no politicians are never truthful when it comes to their stand on certain matters. And I must tell you, those that they are not claiming it to be false news. If they will come out tomorrow, you will discover the truth. That I will advise Mr. Jonathan for him not to drag himself in the mall and still remain the John the Baptist, the peacemaker, because the very moment he drags himself in one stormy water to say he's going to one political party or the other, that is the very dangerous. International respect will come low. And some of the things wrong with us is that most of us don't know how to remain a permanent kingmakers, because sometimes we are very hungry and our political and economic system will not allow us to be. Will not give us contract and food except we belong to one party. If Jonathan wants to be the Jonathan, the peacemaker, let him remain neutral. There's nothing wrong in neutrality as a statesman. And we've had people that did it, Father Aseka did it, Uncle Waziri did it before they passed on, and the rest did it before they passed on. Even Shekari after leaving office tried to be neutral. So what stops him from not being neutral?
Okay.
And let me be the other statesman. Thank you.
Mr. Amiko, let's quickly go to Akwa Ibom State, where Governor Umar Eno has come under fire for actually supporting President Bola Tinubu or campaigning for him ahead of 2027. He was actually speaking during the commissioning of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, that is the Calabar end of the road, and he's saying President Tinubu must complete his second term because he cannot start this work and not finish it. But here's the thing, Governor Umar Eno is supposed to be an opposition governor. He's a PDP governor. Why would an opposition governor be campaigning for the president ahead of 2027 when it's not even campaign season? Is he positioning himself for maybe juicy positions in President Tinubu's second term? Or could he be planning to the camp soon?
Well, it may not just be a way to the camp. It may be a way to make sure that the license of the contract gets to him. And it may be a way to make sure that the state is not avoided in that part of the contract. Because you know that with that project, it's a huge one. And I pray it will be a white elephant project. It's a very huge project, and it's going to open all the states that is passing through the street. And if he does not join the winning team, when I mean the winning team, irrespective of your party, to launch that project, you might end up losing out. So it may not be one of those wanting to do that. And you know, again, in Nigeria, as I said, most of our politicians, we carry umbrella today, and before you know it, in the evening, they will carry the broom. Some will carry the broom in the morning, in the evening, they will carry umbrella. They keep on discussing to any of the parties that has an opening for them. So it may be a way of trying to create a chair for himself in the opposition party. And it may be a way to make himself be in the good books of Tinubu. So that is, you can see that we think federal, then we act unity. That is one thing with us. We are always thinking federal and acting unity. Because we have the need to see, let us key on to him, let us support him, what is preventing them from employing that federal principle in this contract? None. That's why I said I've never seen any politician that is actually pragmatic in Nigeria. You think they are all thinking federal, you belong to APC just to make them, you belong to PDP just to make them, Labour Party just to make them. At the end of the day, that thing they are trying to find out or to make is for their own good. Why will an Umar begin to campaign for a ban that he did not campaign for when he was in PDP? Anyway, with that